Okay, this is my take on the election 2011 for New Zealand. A couple of people have asked me, and certainly something that I've put a bit of thought into also. A lot of people are deciding not to vote or register to vote, and I fully respect that because I'm one of those people too. Once we've learnt that the de facto crown is illegitimate, and it's illegitimate for a lot of reasons, but the most basic one is it's the de facto crown because it's there acting as our parents until we grow up and mature and learn to band together and make decisions ourselves. Now, a lot of communities increasingly are doing that, and hapu have been doing that, and also individuals relating to themselves, what food they can eat, whether they want different vaccinations or what education they want to have. But the problem is that this de facto crown is not letting go, even now that people are showing that they've matured and they've grown up. So it's become illegitimate, as I've said, and the whole house is sort of saying, the Parliament House is saying that they're the crown, the boss, the king, the lord, whatever else, the master of the people that put them there, and that's just wrong. But so I understand why people aren't voting. But I've done this more for the people that are considering to vote. Now, the other vote along those lines is a vote of no confidence, which is I think a valid vote, where you diagonally cross the paper and you write no confidence on it, and that just says, look, hey, I don't really I don't agree that the people we elect are our bosses, and I know that the election platform's biased, or whatever your moral decisions are for that, it's a valid vote. So you can consider that. Now, what are the other options? So let's say that these are the political parties here, and the first thing they do is they tell us that it's not just like that. In fact, it's more like this. That there's two main political parties, a red and a blue one, and it's been like that because they've fooled us into thinking that there's just the red and the blue one, and instead of looking at just the policies of all of these parties and the integrity of the people within them, they've got us into this fear paradigm of, if you like free market and capitalism, that kind of stuff, don't vote for the red one because that's more welfare state, and vice versa. But in reality, these two, the reason they're promoting them is because they work for the same sharks. They've been the red one started privatisation, the blue one carried it on. The red one passed legislation that made corporate personhood and put Parliament as sovereign over the people, and the blue one carried it on. They're doing the same things, and it's happening all over the world where you see this red party and blue party paradigm. France, UK, Australia, the US, it doesn't matter where, they're doing the same things, the same policies, and we don't want either of those in. So what do? Well, you're left with these other guys here. Let's just do the process of elimination. The Māori Party, they've proven they're straight in bed. They're flip-flop, right against their stated principles, selling our assets, allowing environmental degradation, right there. No, take them out. ACT Party, same thing. You got bankers and people that are just trying to, authoritarian people in there. It's the same. Then there's the Green Party. Where's the Green Party? Yeah. I'm going to make the Green Party a shark, and that's because they're fooling a lot of really well-intentioned people that they're doing good for the environment, but at the same time dropping tons of 1080 or allowing that mass fluoridation of water, aluminium and bromium sprayed into the air, and the carbon tax based on poor science, which will evolve, you mark my words, into a tax on life itself. And if you know anything about what my family's been through, there are a lot of people that just don't have compassion, and they're so blinded by the money and the legality, or that they think a dollar's worth more than a human life. That's where that carbon tax is going to take people. So I put the Green Party right out there. Very dangerous. Now the ones that the result that we would hope to get, which would be the best for the voting people, is a coalition of the minor parties, the ones that haven't been bought out by those sharks that we're being fed to up there. So for me, take a look at the Libertarian Party. I like the direction. The Social Credit Party, having control of the money and issuing our own sovereign, non-debt based currency is really, really important. They've got a proven model for doing that. And my pick, then there's Hone Harawira. He's not my pick. I mean, the man has shown that he's principled to a point. He'll make a stand for democracy. He's been in the streets, in the trenches as an activist, and in and out of the courts defending his people. But now, sadly, he's not flying the right flag, and people that know more of this country's history will understand the significance of us flying the 1834 flag versus the Tino Rangatiratanga flag. So I have hopes for him, but I also have concerns, and especially introducing a 1% transaction tax that's in addition to all of the other taxes is just it's a bad idea. So my pick is actually he's an old timer, and he's proven himself. Winston Peters, New Zealand First. He doesn't really bow down to anyone. He's exposed major corporations, and he even talks about the banking and money problems, and he looks after the elderly. It's not something to be mocked, because how we treat our elderly is a reflection of society itself. And indeed, anyone that has values to do that also has values to look after others. He's eloquent, and he's a bit of a tiger. He'll get in there and shake things up. So there you go. You got your minor parties. Ignore the fact that these guys are supposedly one's going to get in or the other, and this is the best result we could do. I mean, a lot of them are standing on democratic principles, and with a bit of pressure applied behind them, we can get a coalition government in that can do a lot. What I suspect we'll find is that the Governor General will then not appoint it, but at least you'll know that you're living with tyranny, and maybe then we'll start to look at together the advantages that indigenous societies have been structured with whānau hapu, or local direct democracy, community-based decisions, and upholding rights directly. Anyway, that's my take on the election. I'm happy to answer any questions, and good luck. Don't put it all on the gerrymandering counts and media broadcasters and the like, because at the end of the day, a God-given right is given to you by God and can't be taken away from another man.